What's up everyone, AJ on AJ's Heli Journey here. This is my first flight since crashing my Goblin 380, and at this point I don't have nearly as much anxiety after crashing as I did before, but I'm still a new enough pilot where it's, there's still a little bit of nerves after crashing. But with that said, I didn't want the mistake that I made to set me back any. I've made a ton of progress and I want to keep it going. So I definitely want to get back in the air as soon as possible. So as you can see, I've busted out the OMP Hobby M2 V2. I thought that this was a nice little heli to kind of get me back in the air where I really wasn't too concerned about whether or not I made any other mistakes with it. I'm not nearly as concerned about crashing this as I am with the bigger helis. So this was a nice heli to kind of get back in the swing, so to speak. And I took a couple of flights here just to get comfortable. One, with being in the air again, and two, get comfortable flying this heli, because this heli is quite different than my bigger helis. It responds different and so on and so forth. But the main thing I wanted to talk about today after that crash was I want to ask the question of how much crashing for you guys is okay. And I wanted to talk about this because I got a ton of comments on my last video, and let me start by saying that I think that that's super awesome. I've said it before, I love hearing from you guys, I love getting the feedback, and I'm really humbled by how many people have taken an interest in my flying, and in doing so have taken an interest in helping me. I'm here to learn, and you guys have given awesome feedback and advice, and I wanted to let you know that I read all the comments. I reply to all of them. I don't think I've missed any really. Maybe some of the older videos, but I try and get to them as much as I can. And I take it all in. I don't necessarily take all the advice. Doesn't mean that I don't think it's good. But I have my approach, and I try and keep an open mind with everything. But I want to let you know that I definitely take it all in. And a lot of people have commented on how I might be able to avoid crashing in the future, and like I said, I really feel awesome that I'm getting that kind of support. So I wanted to share some of my thoughts that I thought would be easier to talk about, and I wanted to start by saying what I just said because I don't want my comments to be taken the wrong way, but I just want to kind of share my kind of view on how everything's been going with my journey, so to speak, so far in learning how to fly RC helicopters, and specifically learning how to fly 3D, because that's really my goal. That's the style of flying I want to learn to fly. I think it's awesome. And so I started this particular journey about a year ago now, is when I got into flying and I made the decision that I wanted to learn how to fly 3D. Now, when I started about a year ago, I wasn't brand new to RC helis, but literally the only thing I could do at that point, because I hadn't really spent much time in the hobby, all I could do was hover tail in. That was the extent of my flying skills. I could barely do a side-on hover, and I was super scared to try nose in. And as far as height, I mean, I wasn't really comfortable flying any more than 3 or 4 feet off the ground. That was just my fear. And in a year of flying, and also I guess pretty much a whole winter of not flying, I've kind of gone from where I was to now being able to fly, do all forward flight. I can do circuits in both directions, upright circuits in all orientations, forwards, backwards. I can do tail down funnels, nose down funnels. I can fly inverted, I can hover inverted, tail in, nose in, well, pretty much all orientations. I can do pirouettes, upright and inverted, slow and fast, although I'm still obviously fairly new to the inverted pirouette, so it's not like I can do those very, very quick, but I can do them. As you know, I'm starting to do inverted circuits, tail forward, so to speak, and I want to start doing nose forward inverted in the near future here. I also, as you can see, I think here I'm doing some is the half piro flips, and I can actually do the full piro flips. I've done them, and that was the last big maneuver I learned to do or started doing in real life, so to speak, at the end of last season. I just feel, and obviously I'm trying to master TikToks. These are all things that I've been able to do. So in 1 year of flying, I've been able to accomplish that. I really don't know or really care how that compares to other people's development. I realize everybody develops at their own pace. But for me, I'm really happy with that type of development. And in that 1 year, including this last crash with the Goblin 380, I've only crashed 4 times. And I've only crashed once. Oh, no, sorry. I said 5 times I've crashed. I crashed once with my T-Rex 500. It was the first time first time out that I was going inverted. It was actually the 4th time, I think, that I went inverted. I lost orientation and I crashed. That was with the T-Rex 500. I've crashed this heli, the M2, twice. I've crashed the M1 once, and now I've crashed the Goblin 380. And I think that I'm not overly aggressive, but I am pretty aggressive with moving forward. I work a lot on the sim, but that's a stepping stone. I like to take things as quickly as I can to in real life, but I don't think I rush things, really. I just think that I try to push forward, I try and test my comfort zones, and I feel that in doing that, it's probably going to lead to some crashing, and I'm okay with that. So 5 times in the last year, I don't think it's too bad. I don't feel that what I'm doing is wrong, so to speak. But it's not necessarily right. It's just my way. So let me know. What do you think? What's okay with you? What is that okay, or is that too much crashing? Do you expect better from yourself? Just something, just some thoughts. You know what I mean? We're all just sharing here, and that's what I want to share. Please keep the comments coming, and the advice and the tips. I think it's all great. I listen to it all. And with that, that's the end of these first 2 flights. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.